Air France, the world's farthest reaching airline, flies constellations to Israel. For 20 flying hours, the powerful motors of the world's finest airliners speed you comfortably on above the weather as crews, long experienced in overwater flying, guide you to your destination. We had our first glimpse of Israel when our plane passed over Tel Aviv. Quite a remarkable city this, when you recall that about 40 years ago there were only sand dunes. Our plane landed gently on one of the long runways, reversed its propellers to break its speed, and rolled to a stop in front of the handsome terminal building of Lydda Airport. Lydda is an important center for long-distance air traffic, and it handles an average of 7,000 persons a month. The all-Constellation service of Air France is the fastest and most direct service between New York and Lydda, and our flight was one we will long remember as the perfect prelude to our trip through Israel. Half an hour after we left the airport, we were in downtown Tel Aviv. Allenby Road is the principal street of the city, with many fine business buildings, banks, and theaters. Shop windows tempted us. Israel ceramics were particularly attractive. All about us, we saw evidence of the city's growth. Many streets were being widened to accommodate the increase in traffic. Sidewalks are made by laying blocks in the sand. Electric wires are placed underground. The old Arab slums of neighboring Jaffa, condemned for health reasons, are being torn down to make way for new business and shopping quarters. Hundreds of apartments are being constructed to house the new immigrants, the immigrants themselves doing much of the work. This stilt-type architecture, Israel's own specialty, was devised to give ventilation and to provide apartment dwellers with space for gardens. Tel Aviv has many small cooperative dwelling units also. Each has a tiny flower garden before it. Office buildings are the largest buildings of Tel Aviv. Movie houses and theaters are modern and attractive. The Habima is known as Israel's national theater. Israel is proud of her Philharmonic Orchestra, whose members once performed with the greatest orchestras of Europe. Tel Aviv is growing into a beautiful city. Rothschild Boulevard is but one of the many avenues that are planted with trees and gardens. In late afternoons and on holidays, crowds fill the cafes along Lord Samuel's Promenade. Before the cafes, the modern Israelis promenade up and down along the beach and the blue Mediterranean. Riding the waves on the Hasiki is a popular sport at the beach. Under the watchful eyes of competent lifeguards, bathers are safe, even in a heavy surf. Tel Aviv has a fine beach, and it is only just across the street from most of the hotels of the city. It's a beach you will enjoy on your Air France flight to Israel. The Weizmann's Institute at Rehovot, the world-famous institute founded by the first president of Israel. In a small Israel plane, we flew south from Tel Aviv to catch a bird's eye view of the orange groves and to see the agricultural development that has taken place in the desert. As we look down, we can see the cultivated land edged by the sand and realize what irrigation is doing to turn the wilderness into fertile fields and to make possible the building of attractive communities. The Negev, literally the arid south, comprises over 40% of Israel's territory. This is the wilderness through which Moses led the Israelites back to the Promised Land. Here is the future home of hundreds of thousands of Israelis. For water is being brought to the land, trees are being planted, and soon it will be producing abundant crops. Since Israel became a state, 500,000 immigrants have come to the country, and the Jewish population has doubled. Such immigration cannot be immediately housed in cities or rural areas unless there are sufficient dwellings. Until they can be absorbed into the general life of the country, the immigrants are distributed throughout Israel in camp cities and work villages. As fast as they can be built, and often by the immigrants themselves, houses and apartments are being constructed for them. The development of Israel depends largely upon irrigation and power. The Jordan Valley Authority is the master plan for the country's agricultural and industrial reconstruction. We were conscious of the progress being made in irrigation when we saw the number of pipelines being laid in various areas of the country. These huge pipes will someday carry water to every needy area of the land. To build a new nation requires hard work, and everyone works in Israel. Much of it is hand labor, but one also sees ever-increasing use of mechanical equipment. America's help is doing much to speed the development of Israel. The roads of Israel are being constantly improved. Railways are being extended. Power stations are sending out electricity to industries everywhere. Oil and gasoline are refined here. Cement plants operate 24 hours a day. Factories are being built. Diamond cutters from Holland and Belgium, with their great skill at one of the world's most exacting occupations, are producing Israel's second major export. The diamond cutters of Holland and Belgium have found welcome in their new home. And the humble shoemaker from Yemen has also found the same welcome.